Hello, it's your girl Oluwatomise, and this is me welcoming you to another episode of Let's Talk with Ava. We'll be continuing on atomic habits. If you've not seen or if you've not listened to the last episode, please check it out. Today I'll be talking on chapter 2, and chapter 2 is titled How Your Habits Shape Your Identity and Vice Versa. Hmm. So, in the last episode, we spoke about why tiny changes make a difference, and we spoke about getting 1% better everything you do. We talked about how small changes accumulate into a habit, and how a atomic habit is just a little habit that is part of a larger system. We also spoke about if you want better goals, then you forget about setting goals, but you focus on your system, you focus on your process. Like I said, today we'll be talking about how your habits shape your identity and vice versa. Starting off, we have this question: why is it easier to repeat bad habits and so hard to form good ones? Now, technically, I've noticed, and you might have noticed, that it's easier to form or to form bad habits than maintain or to form a good habit. It's easier to litter your room than to maintain a clean room. Really easier. So it's often difficult, or it feels difficult to keep good habits going for more than a few days, even when you are sincere with your efforts and you are motivated. Motivation, that's motivation, especially habits like exercise, meditation, journaling, and cooking hmm, are easier done for a couple days, and then you decide to go on a break because you are just not used to it. Like, who wants stress? But once your habits are established, they seem to stick, even as not just even, especially the unexpected ones. So despite your good intentions, you find out that you modify or you solidify your unhealthy habits rather than the good habits. Now, changing our habits is challenging for two reasons. The first being that we try to change the wrong things. Also, the second one is that we try to change our habits in the wrong way. So, in this chapter, we'll be addressing what we trying to change the wrong thing, and in the subsequent chapters, we'll address changing our habits the wrong way. Now, the first thing or our first mistake is that we try to change the wrong thing. Now, what do I mean? It means that, or to explain better, there are three levels at which change can occur. So you can imagine your change occurring like an onion, onions as layers. In case you don't know, if you don't know, go and buy an onion. Okay. Now, the first layer is changing your outcomes, changing your results. Um, what exactly do you want to achieve? Most of our goals are associated with this layer. What do you want to achieve? What is the result you want? The second layer is changing your process. Now, I spoke about process in the last episode, and this layer is concerned about you changing your habits and your systems. What are you doing? While the third layer is changing your identity. Now, this is concerned with changing your beliefs. What is your view? Changing your perspective, changing who. Let's say who you are, but like I think your identity, your values, your belief, your view, your perception, your self image, your judgment about yourself and others defines who you are. So the third layer is changing your identity. Once again, the first layer, your results. Second layer, your process. How do you do the things you do? And the third one is changing your identity. What do you believe in? Huh. Outcomes are about what you get. Processes about what you do. Identities about what you believe. Like I said. So when it comes to building habits that last, we have to build a system of improving. Now, like we said in the last episode, your seemingly small improvements are remarkable. They are not invalid. They are little drops that eventually make a mighty ocean. So that your 1% is essential. Now the problem is that it's not one level better or one level worse. One level is not better or worse than another. All levels of change are unique and useful in their own way. The problem is the direction of the change. Am I sounding like a lecturer? I think I am. But well, that's one of the things I want to achieve in life, lecturing. So I might as well be practicing right now using you. Okay, let's continue. So many people begin the process of changing their habits by focusing on what they achieve, on what they want to achieve. Now, this leads us to outcome-based habits. The alternative is to build identity-based habits, um, focusing on who you want to be, or focusing on habits that change who you are as a person rather than what you want to achieve. Okay, so we are focusing on who we wish to be, right? Right. Are you paying attention? Are you listening? Okay, if you're listening, what have you gotten from what I've said so far? Aha. Okay, let's continue. Now imagine two people resisting a cigarette. uh when offered a smoke, the first person says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. It sounds reasonable, to be honest. I'm trying to quit, but this person is not essentially quitting. Yeah, he's still trying. The person who believes that is still a smoker or is trying to be something else. So they're hoping that their behavior will change eventually to get there, but they're not changing their belief. So no thanks, I'm trying to quit. Well, and the person declines by saying, "No, thanks, I'm not a smoker." Now, there's a difference. This statement states that, okay, you know what, I don't smoke, so I can't have a smoke. But like the person saying, "I'm trying to quit," is, well, I am a smoker, but I'm trying to resist temptation. Resist temptation. No, resist the devil, and it will flee from you. Mm-hmm. But then the other person says, I'm not a smoker. Now this is who I am. This is my identity as a person. So many people don't even consider identity change when they set out to improve. They just think, I want to be skinny, and if I stick to this diet, I'll be skinny. Doesn't work. Doesn't. They set goals and determine the actions that they should take to achieve those goals without considering the beliefs that drive their action. They never shift the way they look at themselves, and they don't realize that their old identity can sabotage their new plans for change. Behind every system of actions are a system of beliefs. What do you believe in? Your belief determines your actions. It determines what you do, right? So um it's you might believe in, or you might claim to, what am I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Please, let's just move on. You may want more money, but if your identity is someone who consumes rather than creates, you continue to be pulled towards spending rather than earning. What you believe in, like I said, determines how you act. If you don't believe that something is bad, then you continue doing that thing because you don't see it as a bad thing. Excuse me. If you don't see laziness as something that is bad, You continue being lazy because you don't see it as bad. But the moment you see it as, okay, I'm not this person, I'm not a lazy person, you your mindset shifts. And when there's a shift in your mindset, you begin to act in the way that follows through with your mindset. It is hard to change your habits if you never change the underlying beliefs that led to your past behavior. If any man be in Christ is a new creature, all things are passed away, behold, all things are become new. So you cannot be a new person with your old behavior. It doesn't work. You have to change. Change. You have to intentionally and deliberately change. Okay? You have a new goal and a new plan, but you haven't changed who you are. Who are you deceiving? No, answer that question. Are you deceiving me? Is it me you want to deceive? No. You're deceiving yourself. You're wasting your time. And time and tide waits for no man. So change. Be a good boy or girl, man, guy, lady, woman. Mm. Okay. So it's not just about it's not just about what you want, but it's about what you do. The ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when a habit becomes part of your identity. It is one thing to say, I'm a type of person who wants this, and it's another thing to say, I'm a type of person who is this. This is who I am, not this is who I want to be. Or this, yeah, this is not who I want to be. Yeah. The more pride you have in a particular aspect of your identity, the more motivated you'll be to maintain the habits associated with it. If you're proud of your looks, you do anything to maintain that looks. If you are proud of your biceps, you would always want to maintain it because you don't want to be caught looking unfresh. Never be caught unfresh. So if you're proud of who you are, you would maintain, or you would be consistent about maintaining that personality. The only way you don't you are not consistent, or the only reason why you are not consistent with whatever it is you want, is because you are not yet sure you are that person. You don't think you are that person. True behavior change is identity change. If you want to be a good person, your identity has to change. Be a good person. You might start a habit because of motivation, but the only reason you stick with it is because it becomes part of your identity. Anybody can convince themselves to visit the gym or to eat healthy once in a while, but if you don't shift the belief behind that behavior, then it's hard to stick with long term changes. The goal is not to read, the goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. Improvements are only temporary until they become part of who you are. You can decline. I don't know the English that they use, but I can't recall it right now. It's not like I don't know it. I know it. I just can't recall it. But it's more like whatever you do, you might motivation can only take you far, as far. You might be motivated to do something, but when that motivation wanes, when there is a slight change in your motivation, when you are not feeling motivated, what happens? You begin to decline, or you begin to reincide in that behavior. But the moment you um believe in what you are doing, it becomes a part of you. It's you begin to visualize yourself as that person. Regardless of whether your motivation changes, you become that person. Why do you think some people are bad bitches? Because they believe they are bad bitches. That's why they act like it. Your belief leads to your act. So it's What you believe in that make you act the way you do. Have you heard? If you believe you're a bad person, you act like a bad person. If you believe you are rude, you talk rude. If you believe you are lazy and you are lazy, you act lazy. So you might not essentially be lazy. It's just a matter of your mind. Okay? Your behaviors are usually a reflection of your identity, like I just said. If you're paying attention, you heard that I said that. Okay. So what you do is an indication of the type of person you believe that you are, either consciously or unconsciously. So the more you believe in something, the more you begin to act like it. The more you believe in Jesus, the more you begin to act like Jesus. And the more you believe in Satan, the more you begin to act like Satan. Don't act like Satan. Be a good person. Like I've said. Nice to your word. Okay. Moving on. When working for yeah, so when you are changing your identity, it's not just like changing your identity does not just come as being good. It can also work against you. So when working for you, identity change can be a powerful force for self-improvement. And when working against you, it can be a curse. So once you've adopted an identity, it can be easy to let your allegiance to it impact your ability to change. You've um okay, one was this has skipped my mind. I don't know. So let me continue. The things you do, your identity change can can work for you or against you. Okay, I've said that already. I don't want to repeat myself. Now, when you've repeated a story to yourself for years, it's easy to slide into those mental grooves. You see, people that lie a lot, they find it easy to like just stay consistent in that line or in that lie. Hey God, mutabon. It's easy to stay consistent in that lie because they already believe what they are saying to be the truth, and there is nothing you can say that would change their mind about that belief. Your mind is a powerful place, it's a powerful breeding ground. I'm beginning to sound like a motivational speaker, and I don't like it. So, um, it's easy to slide into those mental spaces and accept whatever you believe in as a fact, regardless of whether it is true or not. In fact, you begin to resist certain actions because that is not who I am. So there are some things that you won't do just because it does not it does not align with your beliefs. Alignment. There is an internal pressure to maintain your self image and behave in a way that is consistent with your beliefs. Therefore, you find yourself doing whatever you can to avoid contradicting yourself. The biggest barrier to positive change at any level, whether individual, team, or society, is identity conflict. So the moment your identity is conflicted, hey, the moment your identity is conflicted, that might it could be a barrier to positive change. Good habits can make rational sense, but if they conflict with your identity, you will fail to put them into action. Now, you may struggle with your habits, definitely, because you're too busy or too tired or too overwhelmed or hundred of a whole lot of reasons. Over the long run, however, the real reason you fail to stick with habits is because your self-image gets in the way. This is why you cannot get too attached to one version of your identity. Progress requires unlearning. You learn, you unlearn, and you relearn to become the type of person that you want to be. You learn, you unlearn, you relearn. Okay? Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continuously edit your beliefs and to upgrade and expand your identity, you have to continue evaluating yourself at every point in time. You have to be self aware of who you are, of what you are doing. Awareness. You have to evaluate yourself. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Take time to evaluate yourself, okay? That is when you have progress. Now, this brings us to an important question. If your beliefs and worldview play such an important role in your behavior, where did they come from in the first place? How exactly is your identity formed? And how can you emphasize the new aspects of your identity that serve you and gradually erase those pieces that hinder you? Should I answer? No, I'm not answering. I'll read the question again. If your beliefs and worldview play such an important role in your behavior, where do they come from in the first place? Is it nature or nurture? Second question, how exactly is your identity formed? Like, who are you? How do you know who you are? How do you become who you are? Hey God, English. Hey, thanks. How did you become who you are? Third question, and how can you emphasize new aspects of your identity that serve you and gradually erase those pieces that hinder you? Moving on to the next subtopic, the two-step process to changing your identity. Now, your identity emerges out of your habits. Like we said, what you do reflects on who you are, and who you are reflects on what you do. You are not born with your present belief, like you learn, relearn, and unlearn. If you are growing, you are supposed to. So I'm guessing you're growing. So you are. Every belief, including those about yourself, is learned and conditioned through experience. Most precisely, your habits are how you embody your identity, carriage, embodiness. When you make your bed each day, you embody the identity of an organized person. When you write each day, you embody the identity of a creative person. When you train each day, you embody the identity of an athletic person. The more you repeat a behavior, the more you reinforce the identity associated with that behavior. Now, the word identity literally means repeated beingness. Beingness. Hey. Anyways, it means repeated beingness. That is self-explanatory. I cannot be taboing and at the same time be explaining the bon. Please keep up. Thank you. Whatever your identity is right now, you only believe it because you have proof of it. If you study every for an hour every night, you have evidence that you're studious. If you go to the gym, even when it is not comfortable, you have evidence that you're committed to fitness. So the more evidence you have for a belief, the more strongly you would believe in it. You don't start out as something, you become something due to the repetitiveness of your actions. Your habits make you who you are. What you do make you who you are. Now, your habits, of course, are not the only actions that influence your identity, but they are the most important ones by virtue of their frequency. Every experience in life modifies your self image, but it's unlikely you would consider yourself a soccer player because you kicked a ball once, or an artist because you scribbled a picture. The more you do something, the more you get better at it, the more you become it. Your As you repeat actions, the evidence accumulates and your self-image begins to change. Now, the effect of one-off experiences tend to fade away, while the effect of habits get reinforced in time, which means your habits contribute most of the evidence that shapes your identity. In this way, the process of building habits is actually the process of becoming yourself. The process of building habits is actually the process of becoming yourself. You do not change by snapping our fingers and deciding to be someone else new. It is not a bibidi babidi boo or abracadabra. No, you change, or we change bit by bit, day by day, habit by habit. We are continuously undergoing microevolutions of the self. Now, microevolutions remind me of biology, where your cells regenerate, you are constantly growing. It's not just you did not just go from being a baby to an adult in a day or by the snap of a finger. It was a process, it was a step. It was There was a growth process. I'm repeating myself. Jesus. Anyways, every habit is like a suggestion. Oh, maybe this is who I am. If you finish a book, then perhaps you're the type of person who likes reading. So every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. There is nothing like abracadabra in changing. Someone cannot be mean yesterday and suddenly become nice today. Does not happen like that. If you know somebody that is mean and suddenly became nice, ah, hmm, and suddenly became nice, please check the person very well. It's not sudden. If it is sudden, and the person is bringing bed out of the pocket, so small habits can make a meaningful difference by providing evidence of a new identity. And if a change is meaningful, it actually is big. Therefore, you have to make small improvements before have a meaningful change. Your habits are the path to changing your identity. The most practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. Each habit not only gets results, but also teaches you something far more important. And what is that important thing is to trust yourself. You actually start believing that you can accomplish all those things. And the fact that you believe you can accomplish it pushes you to do better and be better. New identities requires new evidence. You can't do the same thing and expect different results. If you keep doing the same thing, you are going to keep getting the same thing. So simple it's a simple two-step process. Hmm. It's a simple two-step process. The first being decide the type of person you want to be, and the second being prove it to yourself with small wins. First, decide who you want to be. What do you want to stand for? What are your principles? What are your values? What Who do you wish to become? Now, these questions are essential to the question, or the ultimate question: who am I? What do I stand for? What are my principles? What are my values? What do I want to be known for? What do I want to be recognized for? Known, recognized. Anyways, those are the questions, and sometimes you might not be able to answer those questions, but you can start from the back, which is, what do you want to achieve? Now, when you know what you want to achieve, your result, then you ask yourself, who is the type of person that could get this outcome that I want? Who's the type of person that get the results that I want? For example, who is the type of person who could write a book? So it's your answer is probably going to be someone that is consistent, someone that is reliable. Now, um it does not really matter, or your creativity really does not matter at this point, because creativity just does not just come on someone. It's something you groom, something you nurture. So it's probably going to be your consistency and reliability. What are you doing to become that person that you want to be? Now, once you have a handle on the type of person you want to be, you can begin taking small steps to reinforce your desired identity. Now, this is giving fake it till you make it. But if it's for a good behavior, like if it's for a good reason, a legit reason, please fake it till you make it. Act like the person you want to be and watch yourself become that person. Act like a billionaire, become a billionaire. Not act like a lady. Act like a lady, think like a man. Mm-mm. Act like a billionaire, become a billionaire. Act it. Take the steps billionaires may take, and you find yourself walking in their shoes sooner or later. The concept to identity based habits is our first introduction to another key theme in the book, feedback loops. Your focus should always be on becoming that type of person, not getting a particular outcome. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity shapes your habits. That's a feedback loop. Whatever you feed to your habits, the habits you feed to your identity feedback to your habits. Please make that make sense in your head. Now, what's the real reason habits matter? This is another subtopic. Why does habit matter? But then there's a question: are you becoming the type of person you want to become? The first step is not what or how, but who. Who are you? Who do you want to become? If you don't know who you want to become, you're wasting your time because it's like you're just drifting wherever the wind blows, that's where you are until you have a purported image in your mind about who you want to become. You don't become anything. You don't get anywhere until you know what you want and who you want to be. You have the power to change your beliefs about yourself. Your identity is not set in stone. It's not carved. Excuse me. It's not set in stone. You have a choice in every moment. You can choose the identity you want to reinforce today with the habits you choose. It's a matter of choice. Building better habits is not about littering your life with life hacks. It's not about achieving external measures of success like earning more money, losing weight, or reducing stress. Habits can help you achieve all of these things, but fundamentally, they are not about having something, they are about becoming someone. Okay? Ultimately, your habits matter because they help you become the type of person you wish to be. They are the channel through which you develop your deepest beliefs about yourself. Quite literally, honey, you become your habits, you become what you do. Okay. Now, in summary, there are three levels of change: outcome change, process change, and identity change. Outcome change will result, process change habits, and identity change beliefs. The most effective way to change your habit is to focus not only The most effective way to change your habit is to focus not only on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. Third, your identity emerges out of your habits. Every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continuously evaluate your beliefs, upgrade and expand your identity. And finally, the real reason habits matter is not because they can get you better results, although they can do that, but because they can change your belief in yourself. Now we've come to the end of today's class. If you have any questions, please ask yourself. Ask me. I don't know how you are going to ask me yet, but ask. Uh, please share the link. I would appreciate that too. And look forward to the next chapter. I realize that it can be quite tedious, but if you've listened to up to this point, thank you. I think I should have said that before. Yes, thank you for listening up to this point. I appreciate you. I love you. I am reading because of you. Yeah, I'm reading because of myself too, but you are welcome, Sha. Um, please share the link. I would appreciate it if you do that. And look forward to the next episode. I love you. Truly. It's not like I love you. Thank you for believing in me and what I do. And bye. Yeah. Bye bye.